Guys, it's Duncan here from Businesspod. Guys, I just wanted to get in a little bit more in depth of how to set up workflows out of Repsly using Zapier. So I've showed you previously in another video how to connect your Repsly account up to Zapier, and I want to show you how it's going to really help you. So normally if we look at the application in Repsly and you actually go to a specific client. And you fill out these different reports. Normally what happens is these reports go and they sit, directly in Repsly. So they'll actually go and sit here. Nothing really happens to them. You can obviously from the device also email these reports, but that's a manual process. So the rep in the field will need to actually then, put in an email address and so on and then send it off. Okay. But say you want these things to happen automatically. So every time a rep completes a complaint form or any other form, something actually happens to it. So I'm going to just show you, exactly how to set this up. So, when this complaint form it gets filled out, it goes to the client and it also goes to whoever handles our complaints. So I just want to show you a quick way of doing it. So you're going to have obviously a Zapier account and you're going to have to connect it all up. But effectively, I'm going to go and do what they call make a new Zap. So I'm going to make a new Zap. Now, obviously, it's when you're setting this up. So I'm going to call this complaint auto forward. Okay. Obviously, when you're doing this, the complaint form is originating from Repsly. So that's what they call your trigger app. Okay. So I'm going to go and just action that. It's then going to ask you what do you want to do. So in this case, it's a form that we're filling out, but obviously you can do purchase orders, you can do retail orders, and you can do other functions, and they're all here for you to have a look at. But in this case, it's a new form, and we want the details of that form, so what's actually being filled out in that form. So if I now go and I select that, I need to obviously choose account. So as I've said, to set up a new account, you would just go and connect a new account down here. I'm just going to select an account that we obviously use all the time, which is our dashboarding account. So it's the account that I'm showing you Repsly on now. It then says which form do you want to use. So out of all the forms we've got a whole lot of forms here. Which form? So I'm going to say it's the complaint form and continue. So when a complaint form gets filled out, something is now going to happen. Okay, now you've got to decide what is actually going to happen. So in this case, I want an email to be sent to the client, and I also want our complaints department to get this email immediately. So, you can use your Gmail account, you can use other email account services, you can just search for them here. But, very kindly, Zapier, or very cleverly, Zapier has their own email service as well. So I'm just going to select that. And they only have one trigger, so it says send outbound email. But I would assume that most of your email services would also have only one trigger, but I haven't checked that. So I'm going to save and continue. Now what it's going to do, it's going to ask you to basically create the email. So what does this email actually look like? So the first thing is who's it going to, and you can either type in an address that it's going to go to every time, or you can actually dynamically pick from the form. So in the form, actually, I asked for an email address of whoever's lodging the complaint. And there it is over here. So I'm going to select that. The subject is then, you can say what the subject is. So it could be, you could say there it is the form name, so complaint form, and then maybe also for the actual business that is being filled out. So in this case, the business name is Second Avenue. And I'm going to put that in. So this is the subject's going to dynamically change all the time. So the body is going to be, good day, and then maybe you want to address this to the person that raised the complaint. So again, you're going to look for the field that was filled out with the person's actual name. So in this case, I think it was. I was going to find it. It was Eric. So apologize. So there we go. Contact person for complaint response. Okay, it's Eric. We're going to say the type of complaint. So you can type a whole mail here. So you can say, okay, we acknowledge your complaint, and this is what it was about, and so on. And again, you can drop any of these fields that you need. So there it's actually type of complaints with damaged packaging, date of complaint, and again, I'm going to actually put in the date. So I just need to find it here. So, there's a number, so date issue occurred, so there it is. And then you can also say date complaint raised. So this would be, the actual date and time now. So I'm just going to go creation time, so that's now. And then I'm going to go, we will respond as soon as possible for any queries. Please contact, and then you could put in an email address or whatever, info@businesspod.net or whatever, and you go kind regards. And again, you might want this to come from whoever actually created, whoever the representative was in the field. So, the beauty of this is while you're still sitting with a client, they could be receiving this to say, thank you. And, obviously from a professionalism point of view and service point of view, it's brilliant. Now, you can also add attachments. There are some rules around that, so you can do some reading up there. From name. So who does it come from all the time? So again, you could say it's from complaints department or whatever. Complaints acknowledgement. Okay, might be spelled wrong. There we go. And then who does it reply to? So in this case, I'm just going to say my email address, Duncan@businesspod.net. But again, you would put in your complaints department or whoever it's going to reply to. And again, those can be dynamic. So it could be the rep's email or whoever. Okay. Then you can obviously BCC or customers or people or CC them. And so once you finish doing that, you're just going to continue. And effectively, this it takes you to a test, so it's just going to show you what it would look like when it does come through. So you can check if your body looks okay. If it's wrong, you can go back and edit the template. Okay, so I think that's fine for what I'm showing you. And then it does a quick test. So it's actually going to send this off to that email address, and then you can go and see. And now I'm just going to actually switch this on. So you can actually see in my email, I've now got the complaints acknowledgement and then the body of the email. So everything's actually there. So it's tested effectively. The next way to actually test this, obviously, is, and I just want to go back here, is to actually go to a client and actually check this out. So I'm going to go choose another customer. I'm going to go into Berkeley Square. I'm checking into that business. And now I'm actually going to do a complaint form. So the person that this is going to go to now, or whoever raised the complaint, let's say the name is Bradley. The issue was poor service. The date that it occurred was, let's say it was the 17th. Described, so delivery was not sent, or whatever it may be. You can also add in, so here I've created a field in Repsy for actual cell phone number or mobile number. And this allows you to maybe take that number and actually also, instead of sending an email, you possibly could send a SMS. So fantastic from a customer service point of view. And especially where guys are, maybe in the trade and they're walking around and, clients that come to visit you, they're possibly not going to get their emails, so you can send them a short message straight away to thank them for their support or service or whatever. In this specific form, it's asking you to take a photo and scan barcodes. Those aren't mandatory, and then I can, obviously make additional comments for the coffee, and you could put these personal notes in as well. Anyway, I'm going to now send this off. So that's been submitted from Berkeley Square. So the customer is Berkeley Square, and the complaint was raised by Bradley. Okay, so I go back to Zapier. Now, normally, this would actually run automatically. So it would run either, depending on your account, either every 5 minutes or every 15 minutes. So in this case, I'm going to fast track it. So I'm just going to run this. Now it should, so it's looking for one, it's triggering one, so it's actually found one. And then it's confirmed that it's sent an outbound email successfully. So if we go back to our email, there we go. You can actually see complaints acknowledged, complaint form, Berkeley Square, and then it says there, good day, Bradley. The type of complaint, delivery is not sent, the date it occurred, the date the complaint was raised, and then, all the other detail that we put in. So, guys, I think you'll agree. It's an extremely quick and effective way. I mean, we haven't even checked if it's in Repsly yet, but it will be. It really is a quick and effective way to set up brilliant workflows, to really improve your customer service, and to do some incredible things. And obviously, these workflows can be dynamic. So if a certain question in the form was answered in a specific way, then nothing actually happens, or something happens only then. So there's just many options around setting this up. If you want more information, go to businesspod.net or repsly.com. You can contact us with pleasure. Always happy to help. Go give it a bash. I'm sure you'll come right.